I thought love could survive anything, until my own family became the reason it ended. 3 years of memories, plans, and promises destroyed by the people who raised me. The main narrator is a 26-year-old woman, intelligent, grounded, and emotionally mature. Her name is Ayesha. For the past 3 years, she's been in a relationship with Jake, a 27-year-old, thoughtful, understanding, and incredibly supportive man. Their bond is deep, built on respect, trust, and true companionship. Aisha is genuinely happy in her relationship, but there's a huge part of her life that's been kept hidden, especially from her family. Aisha comes from a conservative, traditional, and highly controlling household. For her parents, family honor, religion, and what will people say matter more than anything. They expect her to marry someone of their choosing, ideally a relative's son, who matches their culture, caste, and religion. Jake, on the other hand, comes from a liberal, open minded family. His parents are warm and inclusive. They just want their son to be happy. Jake never pressured Aisha, always supported her, even when her family didn't know he existed. Now, after 3 years, Aisha and Jake are quietly planning a future together. They're serious about each other, and Aisha is finally beginning to feel emotionally ready to tell her family the truth, but only with a solid plan. They met 3 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday party. They instantly clicked. At first, it was just casual chats, but slowly their conversations deepened about life goals, fears, values, traumas, and dreams. They shared everything. But as their relationship got serious, Aisha faced a difficult dilemma. For her family, an interfaith or intercaste relationship is a source of shame. She knew that even mentioning Jake would tear her peace apart, emotionally and possibly even physically. So, she decided to keep the relationship a secret. She had told Jake everything about her family's attitude, the cultural pressure, and their rigid mindset. Jake never got angry. He just wanted Aisha to stay safe and share the truth only when she was ready. But he did say one thing again and again: I'll wait, but I don't want to be a secret forever. Those words stayed with Aisha. She had been secretly saving money, taking freelance gigs, putting small amounts into a separate savings account, so that one day she could be financially independent. Her plan was to get a small place on rent, stabilize her job, and then tell her family the truth. For her, emotional safety and stability were equally important. Her family kept her under tight control. No late night shifts allowed, only female friends permitted, and the topic of marriage came up almost every other weekend. Once, her mom casually said, "It's time now. We need to find a good match for you, someone who meets our standards." Aisha just smiled and brushed it off. But inside, fear started creeping in. She knew that if the truth came out one day, it wouldn't just be scolding she'd face. Her dignity, freedom, and relationship would all be at risk. And so, for 3 years, she kept Jake away from her family. His name was saved under a code name in her phone. Their pictures were hidden in a secure folder. Meetings only happened when she could use work as an excuse. But now, after all this time, as she imagines a future with Jake, she feels that the time to reveal the truth is near, but the how, when, and in what way still remain unclear. Everything was fine while the secret stayed buried, but gradually, Aisha's behavior started changing. She would be busy on calls late into the night, avoided family gatherings, and kept turning down marriage proposals with vague reasons like, "I'm focusing on my career," or "it's not the right time." Her parents started noticing. "You've become so ambitious, you don't even want to think about marriage?" they asked. But her answers remained evasive. Then one day, her younger brother, still in school, walked into her room without knocking. She was reading a sweet romantic message from Jake at the time. He saw just a glimpse, but it was enough. When Aisha went to the bathroom, her brother picked up her phone, opened the chat, and took some screenshots, silently handing them over to their parents. The next morning, everything changed. The house felt cold and tense. Her father said, "We need to talk, now." They took her to the living room where her mom, dad, and brother were all sitting. Her dad laid the screenshots in front of her. "What is all this?" Aisha froze. In shock, she tried to explain calmly. "His name is Jake. We've been together for 3 years. He respects me, understands me. He's a good person." But her words didn't matter. Her dad exploded with anger. "Have you lost your mind? You're going to throw away your honor for someone like him? You didn't care about caste, religion, or our family background." Her mother played the emotional card, tears in her eyes. "We did everything for you. We fulfilled your every wish. And this is how you repay us?" Aisha defended Jake. "He makes me happy. He sees me for who I am. You're only looking at his background, not his heart." But her parents weren't listening. Her dad took her phone away. Her mom declared, "You're not allowed to go out until you come to your senses." Her brother stood there silently, as if he'd done nothing wrong. Aisha felt herself breaking inside. Her privacy, her love, all were being controlled. Her parents emotionally manipulated her. "If you truly loved us, you wouldn't do this. If you cared about our honor, you wouldn't have kept this hidden." She stayed quiet, unable to cry, unable to scream. She couldn't even contact Jake, as her phone was now in their possession. She was completely alone, surrounded by her own family. When their scolding, threats, and manipulation didn't work, her parents escalated things. They involved extended family and religious elders. They twisted the story when telling others, "Our daughter has gone astray. She's planning to run away with a boy from another religion. We have to save her." Suddenly, their home turned into a lecture hall. A religious leader told her, "There's no blessing in a relationship that makes your parents unhappy." An aunt she'd trusted since childhood said, "You were always so sensible. What happened to you?" A cousin who used to be her best friend asked, "Are you going to disgrace your father on your wedding day? What will people say about us?" Every conversation was laced with guilt and shame. Everyone saw her only through their own lens. Her feelings, her love, meant nothing. She was completely isolated. Everyone she thought she could count on turned against her. The most painful part, none of them wanted to actually listen. While she was emotionally drained and isolated, her parents took an even more drastic step. They contacted Jake. Using her phone, pretending to be her, they messaged or emailed him. The message said something like, "Jake, I'm sorry. This was all a mistake. I never loved you. I'm getting married to someone else. Please move on." Then they blocked his number and deleted all contact info from her phone. Jake was left confused and shattered. He believed Aisha had truly left him. He tried again and again to reach out, but got only silence. His calls failed. Messages went undelivered. He was blocked on social media. Aisha had no idea. She thought Jake had just stopped trying. She felt confused, broken, and hopeless. Did he give up on me too? Was our love not real to him? Her parents pretended they did it all for her own good. One day, when you marry into a good family, you'll thank us for what we saved you from. But for Aisha, life turned into a nightmare, with no voice, no choice, and no justice. Weeks passed with no word from Jake. Not a message, not a call, nothing. Every day, she checked her phone, waiting, but nothing came. Then one day, a mutual friend from college messaged her. "Did you hear? Jake moved cities, left his job, relocated permanently." That shattered Aisha. She didn't understand what had gone wrong. Why didn't he tell me? Why didn't he say goodbye? She kept asking herself. When she confronted her parents, they responded coldly, manipulating her with twisted logic. So, what if he left? If he really loved you, he would have stayed and fought. He was never right for you anyway. They tried again and again to convince her that Jake never truly cared. He was just playing with you. If he loved you, he would have stood by you. Those words cut deeper than they realized. Aisha was utterly broken. Every day brought a new marriage proposal. Sharmaji's son, a doctor from Canada, someone's nephew. And although she initially resisted, the emotional exhaustion, guilt, and complete isolation started eating away at her will. One day, she gave in and agreed to meet a potential match, not because she wanted to, but because she no longer had the strength to fight. She began to believe the lie they fed her. Maybe this is what I deserve. Maybe love was never meant for me. A year passed. She didn't marry, but she wasn't living either, just surviving, like a shell of who she once was. Then one night, sitting in the dim light of her room, something stirred inside her. A tiny spark, the memory of Jake, refused to die out. With trembling fingers, she created a new email and private social media account. She messaged him, "I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I owe you the truth." Days passed in silence. Then one night, a reply came. "I don't know what to say. You disappeared. I thought you chose them." Jake's message was calm, but full of pain. "I waited. I thought you'd fight for us. But then I got that message. I thought it was from you." Aisha's heart dropped. She immediately explained everything: how her parents took her phone, deleted his contacts, sent a message pretending to be her. She told him how she cried for him every night, how she had never wanted to disappear. Jake was stunned. "You really went through all that?" he wrote. "Every day I wondered, was it all a lie? But deep down, something told me, maybe it wasn't your choice." For Aisha, his words were a lifeline. It felt like she could finally breathe again. But nothing was magically fixed. The pain was still there, the broken trust, the time lost. Still, now she wasn't alone. Something shifted inside her. For the first time in her life, she realized she wasn't just a victim of her parents' control. She had a voice, one that deserved to be heard. "I endured everything because they said it was for my own good," she thought. But did anyone ever ask me what my good looked like? She took her first step: therapy. Secret online sessions where, at first, all she could do was cry. But slowly, with her therapist's help, she began healing. "Your voice matters," her therapist reminded her. "You're not selfish for wanting love. You are human." Aisha started writing in a journal, posted motivational quotes on her mirror, and began applying for jobs abroad, anywhere she could finally live on her own terms. Then one day, a former college roommate reached out, offering her a spare room. "If you ever feel like you can't take it anymore, come over. It's yours." That night, when her father screamed, "Our patience is over. We'll make the decision for you now," something inside her broke, but not in defeat, in rebellion. Quietly, Aisha packed her documents, some savings, her laptop, and walked out. She left no drama, no confrontation, just a note. "I'm tired. I need my life for myself." She moved in with her friend, changed her number, deleted her social media, and cut off all contact. For the first time, every decision she made was hers. A year later, the picture is different. Aisha lives in a new city, works a full-time corporate job, drinks her coffee during morning Zoom meetings, shops for herself, pays her own rent, and attends therapy weekly. Life isn't perfect. Flashbacks of guilt still visit her. Loneliness creeps in sometimes. but she doesn't collapse under it anymore. She meets her emotions head on. Jake and she message occasionally, voice notes, photos, or small, honest conversations. No pretending, no pressure. Jake once wrote, "I still don't know where we go from here, but I'm glad I know the truth." She replied, "Same here. Let's rebuild. No pressure, just honesty." They aren't a couple again, not yet, but they're better. More real, more grounded, more open. At the end of it all, Aisha sits down one night, pen in hand, and writes in her diary, "I lost him once because I stayed silent. This time, even if I lose again, at least I fought. For myself, for him. And if I have to walk alone, that's okay. I can walk alone." She closes her journal, smiles quietly to herself, and whispers, "This time, I'll fight for what I want, even if it means walking alone."